10 races to go, and the word drama comes into play.
Boy, we had our share Saturday night in Richmond, didn't we?
I'm telling you, the chase is set, the 12 in that should be, the race is on, but look out for the magnets. They are pulling guys together, and it's not turning loose. And we've got Kurt and Jimmy, we've got Harvick with his short fuse, Kyle Rudeman, Kenseth Jr. swapping paint, Brad doing a little rubbing out there. I didn't see any yellow Goodyears on his tires at one point in time, and you could just see on Chad Knaus's face after Jimmy and Kurt gets into it. It's like, I wish we hadn't done that. But anyway, they got 10 races to go, and like I say, those 12 that made it in are the ones that should be in it.
You know, a lot of people say that Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson need to get this nipped in the bud before the chase starts. And, you know, you need to make amends and mend fences and all this stuff before you begin the championship run. Is that possible? When you run into guys on the racetrack or you get run into, is it as simple as, well, texting somebody or making a phone call and all is fine and we walk away from this like it never happened?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I appreciate the text. I appreciate the respect, and it goes likewise, and I give it back. But it's like, you just cost me a race. You just turned me around. You just embarrassed me on the racetrack. You just didn't respect me on the racetrack. And that goes a long way. That goes, it might not happen this year. It might happen in the 9th race of the chase. You never know. You never know what's going on. Race car drivers, I hate to use Jimmy Spencer's cliche, but they don't forget. And anyway, it's always in the back of your mind. But I tell you what's more aggravating than anything is that just knowing that, hey, maybe I didn't amend that deal just right or whatever, and that guy still, you know, he's coming after me. All of a sudden he's on your bumper or he's close or something like that. You know he is in the back of your mind, and you make a mistake, and that can cost you. And the guy never did a thing. But it's all about. And I'm not going to say it's in Jimmy Johnson's head, but it is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be thought about. You can look cool, calm, and collective going for a 6-pack, but it's like you know, I think it bothered him and it's bothered Chad. And when it does that, it bothers the entire team, and you hate it. But can you go on without it? No, it just happens. One of them things.
Rick, can you win a championship being involved in something like this, whether you're Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, any of the litany of guys that have issues right now? In your mind, can you win a championship being involved in something like that for the 10-race chase?
You can, because you know, you can get by with it on certain weekends or whatever, and then other weekends it won't surface. You know, just like at Dover, these guys are in the same. You know, luckily, I put it that way. That you got problems within the chase. And so what happens is, if, say, Kurt goes out there and tries to retaliate on Jimmy or something at Dover, he can take himself out very easy. And so, I mean, both of them really want to win this championship for their respective teams. But at the same time, I mean, anything can happen. But you certainly can win a championship with drama. Usually the guy who's going to win the championship's got the horseshoe on his exhaust. But at the same time, you know, anything can happen. But I just, you know, I love it for the fans, and right now I'm a fan. But I love it for the fans, and to have this excitement, to have these guys going after it, and the champion at the end of this particular chase, the champion is going to deserve it, and he's going to have earned it. I guarantee you that.
You used the word respect earlier, Rick, and I'm wondering, in this age of boys have at it in the last couple of years, have we lost respect on the racetrack? Have we lost some sportsmanship on the racetrack in your mind?
Probably not. I think it has a lot to do with just the racing evolution. The car had a lot to do with it. Drivers being very safe. I think that's had a lot to do with it. They can take chances. They can take chances with their cars. These cars, they're building new cars every 3 weeks now. So it's like, we can tear it up. We'll get another one. I've seen acts on, you know, people that doesn't even have sound jobs are crashing people under caution. And it's like, I realize it's payback and all this kind of stuff, and let's handle it right now. But I still like the old get out of the car, talk to the driver, do it on the front straightaway if you want to in front of the fans, whatever. NASCAR, turn your head for 30 seconds. That's what have at it meant, not necessarily going after it using the cars as a battering ram.
Why do you think everybody is so chippy? These wicks are very, very, very short these days.
Well, I think I went to Harvard School of Knowledge. I don't know. You look at Kevin, and Kevin's a great business guy, and got a lot of things going on. But I think that pressure has a lot to do with it, and we just don't have much patience. If you look at all these guys, probably the guy with the most patience is the guy who's doing the best right now. And they're just not, I can't really single one person out that has a lot of patience. And patience comes with respect and things like that. And it's everybody's on the edge. And that's good. That's good for the fans. Fans, they're going to bring it to them and put on a great show, and I love it.
We kicked things off for the first time ever here in my backyard at Chicagoland Speedway. Yeah. A little different look to things, Rick. I mean, do you like that? Do you like the fact that Chase is a little different looking this year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Going to different places, going to different racetracks. Yeah, heck yeah. You can't starting it off with the Camping World Truck Series in Chicago, along with the Nationwide Series and the Sprint Cup. So you got, let's get it on. And what a neat place for the Chase to start at Chicago. Then we can go on to New Hampshire and on down the line where we usually start. But at the same time, Chicago, you got to be on your game. I know these guys are building horsepower. I know Kyle Busch has been complaining about it a little bit and things like that. And it's like these guys have been in the shop and working on horsepower. You got to have it at Chicago. It's the driver who stays on the gas the longest going to do the best. And these teams are going to be up for it. I think it's a nice place to go. Stretch out, a lot of grip, a lot of action. You can run all over the racetrack. Chicago is one of my favorite racetracks. Even when we didn't have a race there, we used to go there and test a lot with the trucks. And what a neat place to test, but what a neat place to race to.
What kind of knowledge can you extract out of a test at Chicagoland Speedway?
There's a lot. You can get attitude is probably the main thing what you're looking for, because the track used to, back when we used to test it, had a lot of grip, and it still does, but sometimes you got to search for it there. You got to put yourself on the right lane, I guess you'd call it, to what your car is actually favoring. So that really makes it for a race car driver. He can search around and find the right place to race. At the same time, you can work on aero, you can work on horsepower, you can work on speed through the corner. A lot of things you can extract out of a test at Chicago, because it's not necessarily like the two corners are different, two exits are different, the two straightaways are different, but you can extract a lot of information out of Chicago.
This is the eighth Chase, and although some things have changed since we started this in 2004, one thing remains the same. You've got 10 races to decide the championship now. In your mind, Rick, how important is it to get off to a good start in order to do that, in order to win that championship?
Well, I hear everybody talking. Every time a chase starts, you get a mulligan. And I just don't think there's any mulligans out there right now. I think it's a guy who's going to have 10 good races. I don't think it's a guy going to back into this championship with his roof flaps open. I think it's a guy that's going to race hard, and he's going to race hard for 10 races, going to minimize his mistakes on pit road, minimize his mistakes on the racetrack, and have 10 good races, possibly a couple of wins. That's going to be your next champion.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but size it up for us. Handicap it. Who looks good to you? Who do you think is going to run for this championship?
I hated that word. I started off the show with drama. I hated that word. I did have a favorite, and it's like I don't anymore. I don't anymore, because it's like and I love that. I love that being a promoter. I love that being a fan now, and just a commentator or about racing is like. I love it when you don't know what's going to happen, the surprise element here. You got 12 drivers, folks, that's coming into a chase. I can't build it up any better than it's built up. Go out there and race. Watch it this weekend. Go to Chicagoland Speedway. Watch it in person. Tune in on television. It's going to be a great race.
And listen in on radio here on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Absolutely.
By the way, speaking of promoting and such, let's back up. First of all, how is your portion of the country rebounding after all those intense rains and flooding situations you had there about a week and a half ago?
The sun came out on the sunny Gulf Coast area down there, and everything's back to normal. We got rid of our yellow drought down there, I guess you'd call it. The part of the state's now back white again, and the grass is green for a little while until the fall starts coming in. So thank goodness. I hated it canceled a lot of sporting events and a lot of events around the Gulf Coast and so forth. But not much damage, minimal damage, and we got our rain we was looking for because it has been a dry summer down along the Gulf Coast. So we rebounded from that. We'll get back to racing, not this weekend, but next weekend at Mobile National Speedway. We'll have the Round 5, the super late model, Miller Lite Series. Then the very next weekend, back-to-back, will be the Lee Fields Memorial that got rained out on Labor Day weekend, and that's shaping up to be a very big, very nice race. So looking forward to that.
MobileSpeedway.net, your destination to find out what's going on at the All-American Cultural Icons racetrack down there.
Stay tuned, Mike. Stay tuned, Mike and Pete. It's going to be a big announcement next week for Mobile National Speedway, so I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know, maybe we can talk about it on next week's show, but I think that's announcement's on Thursday. It might give you a hint on that, but a big announcement for 2012 at Mobile National Speedway.
All right.
Now, there's a radio coochie coo right there.
Well, now, wait a minute. Okay, now hang on a second. Any other teasers you can throw along with this?
No, it'll be the biggest event that Mobile National Speedway has ever had, and really proud, really looking forward to it, and we'll let the dates out of the bag and all that kind of stuff next week.
Are trucks involved in this?
Does it rhyme with Pamping World Trucks?
Well, Darlington opened up another date, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
And then Rockingham took one. I guess that would have been the Nashville date. Mm-hmm. But
we don't have a date for that Indy truck race yet.
You never know. And if Andrew keeps me on the same time as next week, I don't feel like Forrest Gump anymore because I started to feel like Forrest Gump, a box of chocolates. I never knew what time I was going to get. And so if Andrew will keep me on my normal time next week, the fans can listen into the show here on Sirius 90. And maybe we'll give a little more hint, but we'll talk about maybe the big announcement of what's going to happen on next Thursday. So,
all right.
Really looking forward to it.
All right, pal. Appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you next Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being on the show, folks. See you next week.
All right. That's Rick Crawford, the All-American Cultural Icon. The Rick Crawford Show drawing to conclusion. Wonder what that big announcement's about.
I hope it's what we both think it is. I'm not going to lie to you because I'm booked on the next flight to Mobile International Speedway to be part of that if that happens, if the trucks do wind up there.
I'd work for free. Well, take it easy.
Look, David Hyatt just texted me. He said, fine, you're in.
You're in. Let's go. Hey, let's go to the top of the hour. Rick Benjamin Chocolate Myers going to trade some paint then. We will check in with the men of the midday after we check in a little more with you at 866 Pit Lane.